Yeah. Set it plus and minus two. Or is this quick match? Okay, yeah. If it's ranked, set it to like plus or minus two, so you don't get like way higher or way lower. Yeah, that's no worries. Yeah, and then set it ranked restrictions plus or minus two for now, and then we can raise it if we can't find matches. And then yeah, usually I set the and then usually I set the connection to four or above, but we'll see how it goes for now. How? Okay. How many things or how are things going in general that you have worked on, or are you finding things more difficult, more easy? What's on your mind? How's the Tekken lately? Which event is that? Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense that if things are really busy, that you've prioritized those for sure. I wouldn't fault you at all for that. So we'll work with that in mind. Yeah, we'll just keep that in mind. What are your goals for Beakmonk? Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think that because we. Oh, okay. I think because we have a month, top priority is just getting as clean or like getting as much as better as we can within like a 2 week span or so, and then kind of solidifying how you want to play, and then making sure that when you get there, you can play in like a flow state, like a uh, in a playing in a way where you are um, doing exactly what you want and performing to your best capability. I think that those will be good focuses. Um, because it's taking a bit, you can go ahead and switch that rank restriction to plus or minus three preferred.
And developing a life lead early on, and especially in that tournament setting where there's some real pressure kind of in each match. Why give myself like the added pressure of trying to like come back in terms of not having a life lead? I figure if I can try to play safe, get take advantage of Lisa's pokes and
Plus or minus three preferred.
oh, preferred. There we go.
Can you start what you said again? My recording missed our whole first half of the conversation. I wrote down most of it, so it'll be there.
Okay, so the main focus I think I want to try is to really play safe, especially at the beginning of rounds. Try to establish life leads in rounds when I can, and not go overboard, be too offensive, and put myself in situations where I'm having to come back in terms of life lead. I want to try, if I can, to offload that additional pressure onto my opponent, because I know tournaments, matches, there's already this kind of like elevated pressure on you.
Mm-hmm.
I want to really try to take advantage of Elisa's pokes, try to be really unconventional, not the down back four as much necessarily, but down four, down back three, really mix those up.
Mm-hmm.
Using down forward four, just playing it safe at the start of the round, establishing the life lead there, and then once I have that slight life lead, really trying to take advantage of how well she moves
Mm-hmm.
and forcing errors on their part. And then when I find openings, getting those combos from there, as long as I don't drop the combos, and even do something semi-optimal. That's just, again, it adds up the pressure, and then not getting carried away,
Yeah, yeah.
um, not becoming too offensive when you do have the life lead, trying to keep risk and reward in mind
And
as we
feeling
get
like
towards the end of each round.
when you feel like you have to kill them, that creates a lot of predictability. So you have a good approach, I
Yeah,
think. The next
you
thing I would
kind of
say
know.
is don't forget like back one. Back one puts you in full crouch.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, back one.
so you
Because here,
yeah, mid poke into full crouch, and you don't have to act upon the full crouch. So like just like you
yeah,
said,
it could just be
you could
here.
yep, and then you just leave and block, and then they don't know if you're
Yeah.
gonna do something or not. And the next time you do something, so that's always good.
Yep.
And then yeah, in addition to using her movement, like keep your focus heavily on whiff punishment, because if people are playing
Yes.
very button heavy and you're able to move really well, that is the cash out that you want.
Yeah, catching people with 3-2 as a block punisher, as a whip punisher would be really good. I have a tendency sometimes to, if we're playing out at this kind of range, to want to use forward 3-2.
You want to use down forward 2 there in that situation.
Yeah.
Down forward 2 is only 1 frame slower. It's safe, so you don't expose yourself to dying, and it
Yeah.
accomplishes the same thing of either whiff punishing or keeping out. Forward 3-2 is best used specifically as a 14 frame punish,
Yeah.
because as soon as you run into somebody who can duck it, you suddenly
Yes.
lose access to a reliable whiff punisher or keep out move that when you already have one. So
Right. Yeah, and there are lots of times where people do know
yep.
to deck the second part. There are
Exactly.
times where people see the that might whiff and they think they're safe to come in and attack, and they end up eating the second part. But why
yeah,
risk
exactly.
it
Why
when
expose
there,
yourself? So
when there are
you
better
have
options?
you have down 4-2, you have magic 4. I feel like we're coming in faster than you expect and with a button. So standing 4 is really good for that purpose too.
Oh yeah, Magic 4 for sure.
And then
Do you recommend Magic 4 over 2-4?
yes,
For
same
that?
same
At,
reason
at,
same reason as
at this
4-3-2.
kind of range.
Same reason as
Yeah.
4-3-2, because to call out a magic 4, they have to move into you and convince you they're going to hit a button.
Right.
And then they have to duck on that timing. Or
Right.
so those are high requirements, but that's different from reacting to blocking the 2 and then seeing, oh yeah, I just duck here because there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
There is like the mid extensions, but it's not a favorable mind game to play. You don't get a lot out of it and you risk more. So Elisa is so strong because it's so hard to hit her.
Right.
If you give them things like free damage, like you give them opportunities that they didn't earn, then it takes away that strength. Like it
Right.
mitigates that. If the night is going to look like this where you don't get any matches, we can reschedule
No.
because
But
yeah, this is
it's just how it goes. I checked earlier this morning to see Seattle Tech-In's back to doing mostly offline stuff because they have a dedicated venue. For a long time, Thursday nights were their online lobbies, and so my thought was I always could have that as backup. It sounds like they're just gonna do their in-person stuff. One thing I do like to do with Elisa that I'll definitely try to feel out my opponents is using down back 3 and then backdashing.
Yes,
If people like to press buttons afterwards, it's very easy to set up a hop kick afterwards.
And that is your bread and butter. It is what can I do? What are they doing in response to what I'm doing?
Yeah.
And you don't have to you don't have to necessarily consciously frame it like that. Instead, you just want your attention deeply on their character model, right? So you do your move, and if you're staring at them and your brain kind of draws that dot like, hey, every time I do this, they're hitting a button. Then backdash beats it.
Boom.
Yep. Same thing with off of back 1. Same thing off of jab. Same thing off of magic 4 on block. You have this for like almost a million options, right? So, and you can even expand your awareness to, I forward dash once, are they swinging? I forward dash twice, are they swinging? I wouldn't recommend just spamming forward dash but you could backdash 3 times, poke them with the low. Are they gonna like wait and then do a mid? There's a lot of things to see, and the enemy of awareness is like tunnel vision, right?
Yeah.
So when you're looking for these things, try and be as open as possible to what they're doing, more than looking specifically for very specific things. That's a weakness I've had in tournament for years, and it took very long to realize that it takes a release to improve the attention more than a like hardening, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
Like
I don't know if you just
a softer attention is more powerful. A softer attention is more aware than like a hard tunnel vision, right?
Okay. I don't know if you saw earlier, I was just doing, so I did this as an example and then like following up with a hop kick. If I can avoid doing a while standing 3, for some reason, I'll end up doing that rather than a 1-2-3. God, that is just my absolute like.
So what is the situation? How does it happen?
I'll do a hop kick. To pick it up from there, I will normally go into full crouch while their legs are still up, and I'll do a 1-2-3.
Yeah.
But sometimes
you just get while standing 3.
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, so okay, so your input style for that, You need to mash 1 until 1 starts coming out. Don't
Okay.
pre-buffer the whole 1, 2, 3. Just start mashing 1. Well, after the full crouch, right? So you
Yeah.
do the hop kick, full crouch, mash the mash the
And
1,
then-
and then react to the 1 coming out, and then mash the rest of the string. But you want the first hit to come out first.
Yeah.
And then that's a good way to practice it too. It's just breaking down the movement. Yeah. Yes. In Tekken, because attacks buffer,
Yeah.
and the buffer is not like, it's generous, but it doesn't store multiple inputs, right?
Mhm.
So you want to buffer the first input of the string, because if you buffer the whole 1, 2, 3 as quickly as possible, that's how you get the standing 3, the while standing 3. So you want to do the hop kick, and then you mash the 1, and then as soon as you see her start moving and doing the while standing 1, then you mash the 2, 3.
Yeah.
So try that.
Oh, I didn't follow up the 2 fast enough there. Oh gosh, it's embarrassing.
No, it's not embarrassing. You're developing a skill. Nice. Well, keep doing
that
that.
one doesn't need the micro dash, I don't think. That's something on an infinite stage. The down. That's what I want to do there. I might do like.
You're going to so because you're going into tournament, pick one combo and make that your combo.
Yeah.
You want to minimize these decision points while you're juggling all these new things you're learning. Okay, so like do your hop kick combo, and then decide which one you're going to do, and then just do that. Nice. Yep. So that's your combo, and we're just gonna keep doing that. And if it messes up or something, you have like a simpler way to do it, right? But like, don't worry too much about the branching opportunities. Your goal right now is to get like gameplay, and then it fits in there. So keep doing the hop kick combo while we wait. If you don't find ranked matches, do you have people you can message and just play with?
I can check and see who's online right now. I might have some people.
Yeah.
That's the fun thing about playing this game is you end up adding people for brackets online, and then you have this like huge friends list of people, and like at any given time, there's probably like 20 something people playing Tekken.
Are you in my Discord by chance?
I didn't realize you had your own Discord.
No, that's cool. That's not a. It was not a. It was not a bait. There are people there who will probably play you regularly.
Sweet. Yeah.
Sending an
I'm in
invite.
like Battle Lounge and like the Portland FGC ones, but I never really visit those ones, I guess. And then, like I said, all the Seattle people are playing in person tonight.
You want to ask Strike Mist? You're some Surge for games. They are. Strike Mist is.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I've had a chance to meet Strike Mist, but I think we've played before in a tournament.
He's like solid mid-level. He beat like Reinhardt at Evo.
Yeah.
He isn't sure about why he's decent though. So like when he gets beat, he'll get confused. So that's why it's good for you to play him, because you'll still have that like psychological interaction. Yorsum is similar but lower level than Strike Mist, but he also will get confused why he's winning, right? So like and then Surge is solid like true Tekken God Prime. So that will be like your like mid high level practice. Like he'll do crazy stuff that you'll have to deal with. He's also pretty solid. So
it's like playing in the Seattle lobby, playing against like Silence or something. I get my ass beat by his Nina all the time, and I have no clue what he's doing.
Tooney is probably like Yorsum's level, but he's not as like shaken up. I think like he's pretty like level headed. So you'll get like good discussions with him and stuff like that.
And then I'm sorry, I'm not seeing the Find Match channel.
So first thing is assign yourself the roles and like read the rules and things like that. And then it's match review or looking for games.
Oh, okay.
You can ping these people and tell them like V said like you should play. Pacific is a really strong Kazuya.
Ooh, cool, fun.
All of these people will be good. You can ask them for like first to threes, first to fives, and then like talk about it after. I think that'll be better structured than like just spamming games. Yeah, it looks like we might not get it today. When is the next time you can do a session? Are you working? You're working tomorrow, I assume?
Yes. And I think I'll be busy in the evening. Tuesdays and Thursdays are generally pretty good for me. I can do Mondays as well, I think.
What might work best then, instead of live spectate, is whenever you do get ranked games, just start saving them. Do you have OBS on your computer?
I think I still have like Streamlabs or something.
Okay, whatever you have, record them so we can go over them. It looks like, based on how hard it is for our schedules to line up, that it might be hard to get a spectate time that works, but the VODs will still be very effective. I think that arguably, I'm actually of the opinion I used to prefer spectate when I was a player,
Okay.
but the more I've coached and the more I've gotten better as a player, I think VOD review is actually more powerful because learning things on the fly is actually really fucking hard. This game
Yeah,
demands a lot of
it's
attention and a lot of focus. So,
yeah, you're using half your brain in like two different
right.
directions, and
So I actually think that might be better. So I won't charge you for the session. Just book a, or I mean, the next session you book, do
Mhm.
the free consultation, and I'll know that it's a full session.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Um, get as much footage as you can when you can. I don't care if it's ranked or player match. I always recommend ranked because of how varied the experience is, and it forces your brain
Yeah.
to see something new and then do something about it, like kind of like in tournament versus like when you play somebody you've played before, you have preconceived notions, you have preconditioning, right? It's not like a
Yeah.
fresh. So that's why I recommend ranked, but it's better to play something than not at all.
Right.
So
So you prefer those matches, if I do record those, to be in that setting where I haven't. It's not a person that I
it
know.
doesn't matter. The match at this phase, because it's a month away, get any matches you can. Let's get a session. Um,
Yeah.
after the fact, we can optimize further. But because you're specifically prepping for Beak Bonk, I basically want you to get as many matches as you can, so we can start critiquing and refining immediately.
Okay.
And then I want you to, you said you know the players there, so do some.
Yeah.
You don't. It doesn't have to be extensive at all, but give me a brief write up of what you think each player does. If you have
Okay.
if you have links to their gameplay in any previous tournaments, find those.
Okay. That sounds good.
What we lack in tech and skill, we can make up for in preparation in this game.
Right.
Some people frown upon that. Some people, like Joey Fury, make it to the finals of the World Tour because of that. So
Yeah.
I think if you're trying to do well at Beak Bonk, let's use all the tools at our disposal. So,
Right.
Okay, so I'll put this down. So, first thing, record every match you can, do VOD review. Book a free consultation, and I'll know it's a full hour to make up for this session. Two, do a small write up on each player, like 1 to 4 lines. It really doesn't have to be long.
Mhm.
Of what you think they do and how they play. If you have links to their gameplay, this is like 100 times more valuable.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and I know there's some kind of bigger names in our area that go. I know Bam Bravo was there last year
Okay.
and travels a lot.
Yeah.
Silence has talked about coming, so there's some Seattle players that I've
I
got some experience with.
specifically have tricks for Bravo and for Silence, so that'll help.
Cool. I just, as long as I don't walk into, because Bravo is a Lee,
Lee
like,
Zafina.
yeah, and so just not walking into a bunch of his kicks.
Yeah, and
Like,
and
there's
Bravo
not
will
that.
play an aggressive slide game, so that's also
Yeah.
something to contend with. And then, he likes to play aggressive on scramble situations. So if you drop a combo or something, he's looking for you to like hesitate a sec and then come in again so he can get a free launch or something.
Right.
That's like probably the main thing. And then, but if you play like really frame tight, that doesn't happen. Like if you just
Yeah.
disengage on a drop combo, it doesn't happen. Same with his
Just
drop
reset. You know, you got some damage.
Yeah.
Reset it.
Yeah.
Especially again, if you have the life lead,
Mhm.
why risk it?
combo. Yeah, and then the downside is now you're playing into a slide mix again, but it's better than getting launched. So
Yeah.
the other thing is Silence. Silence is really solid, right? But he
Mhm.
is a slave to the frames. So
Yeah.
if you ever challenge a Magic 4 when you're negative and it hits him, he gets real confused, and then he starts like be like, why would you do that? And then like he wants to understand why you would do something more than just doing what will kill you. So if you just
Right.
occasionally mash at like -5 or something, a Magic 4,
Do something that makes not quite a
Yeah.
whole lot of sense.
I played my
Yeah.
Steve against him locally when I first played him in person, like in January, and I was just
Yeah.
mashing back one of the stupidest situations, and he was so confused. And I'm like, yeah, that's like to me, that's like the Seattle effect. Is everybody in Seattle is really diligent and they study really hard, but they're kind of a slave to the frames, so they will throw away a lot of situations or like assume that you're respecting them when they haven't given you a reason to.
Right.
Anyways, so let's take that approach. I'll let you go for now. Book that consultation session when you have literally any amount of matches. We can go in depth or as like superficial as we need.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yes, I'm sorry that we didn't get it to work today. That's unfortunate.
That's how it goes. Are Tuesdays days where you're normally in bracket?
No, I'm not employed anymore. I mean, sorry, I'm re-employed now, so I don't have to enter.
I think I saw that on Twitter today. Yeah,
so I don't have to
congratulations.
enter. Thank you. So I don't have to enter those stupid PS4 tournaments. So I'll be available.
There you go.
It
So
might
I'll
not
check
show
and
up.
see.
It might not show. I've been shuffling my times around. So if you see a time you want, message me directly, and I will work it in if it's not available on Medify.
Okay. And then don't, obviously hesitate to, ask for a reschedule, man. It's at the end of
Thank
the day,
you.
it's no
I
big deal,
appreciate your understanding, and
Yeah.
and like and likewise on the flip side, DM me if you have any questions at any time. I
Cool. I
do not
appreciate
mind
that.
whatsoever.
I don't want to I don't know, I just because we booked a session didn't mean I didn't want to bother you on Discord. I guess
No, you're
don't want
good.
to want to respect that boundary. So
Because we have entered this client client coach relationship, I am open to you at all times. So you are
cool.
welcome messaging. I answer a million questions a day. I don't care what's one more. So
Gotcha.
it's good. Yeah, please use me as a resource. Like, I want to be helpful.
Awesome. I did have one more question before we go.
Yes.
So, say you're getting ready for a big event. Well, big, it's a regional event. You're traveling for
It's
it.
big for you. That's what matters.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really looking forward to it. If we're coming up to it's about a month and a half away.
Mhm.
When you are preparing for an event and you're getting to that, it's a week away.
Mhm.
How do you approach getting last minute practice in?
Yeah.
Do you
So
try to really rush and get a lot of practice in, or do you kind of take a step back
yeah,
going
yeah.
into the
So
event?
about 7 days before, I stop playing.
Just entirely?
Stop playing. I don't touch the game.
Okay.
Well, hold up. It depends. So usually, if I'm cramming, I will play 7 days before. For sure, absolutely, 4 days before, I will not touch the game.
Okay.
The day before I go to the event, I will turn on the game, get used to moving around again, do some combos, do some throw breaks, and then not touch the game. When
But
I
you're
get
not deep diving anything
correct,
or not doing character specific
you are
matchup stuff. Yeah.
right now. You are watering your plant to get better at the
Yep.
game. If you continue watering it up till the day of the tournament, you'll just have a puddle of water above your soil, right?
Yep.
You want to have everything you need to know seeped into the soil, sunken into the subconscious, so that when you sit down at the setup on the tournament day, your hands are doing everything you've trained and you don't have to think about it. And you're not thinking about things you already know how to do.
Yeah.
Conscious thought is the enemy of performance, but you need the conscious thought to develop good performance. So that's what the week before is for. We disengage completely to avoid overloading the conscious brain, letting the subconscious absorb what it can. And then a couple days before, we just warm up our hands again so that we're not completely dry.
Mhm.
So yeah, again, combos, movement, throw breaks. And then the day of the tournament, you warm up as hard as you can, in my opinion. I think that's what I have found that I need. I need at least an hour or 2 hours of warm up in combat with somebody.
That's mainly focusing on the mechanical aspect of it, though, right? You're
When
not trying to
I'm warming up on the tournament day, I am warming up my the reflexes of observation, adaptation, attention, focus. So
Okay.
I am practicing warming up, looking at the screen, and punishing the whiffs I see, punishing the blocks I make, ducking the reactable lows. If somebody stops getting hit by my moves, I pivot my moves, that kind of thing. It's not necessarily conscious, but it's still a skill to warm up.
Okay, I see.
So yeah, so we can talk about it more as we get closer, but basically I'll tell you a week before, okay, unplug the game, go do something else that's fun, play other games.
Yeah.
And then 2 days before, start warming up your hands again, stuff like that.
Yeah, so that event is on the 29th, so I guess I still have a little bit longer. I
29th
might
of April?
try to Yep.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, I might try to get a couple sessions with the inn before, if that's all right.
Yes, no, we should try to do one as soon as possible after you get footage so that we can get you on things to work on directly. We should do probably 1 or 2 to check in.
Yeah.
And then we can do, depending on how that goes, more to set you up for success. But even the way you handle the deload right before, we can do that over DM too. That's fine with me.
Okay, sweet. So yeah, this weekend could be a good opportunity to get a lot of that stuff recorded. So
yes. Sounds good, man. I will catch you in the next one. And yeah, DM me anytime.
Awesome. Thank you much, man. I appreciate it.